Hey, Justice Warriors, what is up? What's good? Susan and Nico, thank you so much for being here. Greetings, Earthlings. I love that. Thanks for reminding me. Um, I've got so many thoughts going through my head over the last few days that I am just dying to share with you all. Um, where to begin? I hope everyone's been well. I've been very well. I've just been ridiculously busy. Please hit your thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. I always like to start with that. And I'll do my regular, everything I say is my opinion only. And for the sake of conversation, hoping to open up a discussion, hoping to learn something, hoping to be educational. And all my videos are made specifically for YouTube. And we all know that's an entertainment platform. So let me start right there. I think I have all the I's dotted and T's crossed for the monetization. I think, fingers crossed, wish me luck. Um, we'll see. It's always something like really, really tedious and tiny, but it would just be exciting to have that. Hey, Sherry, good to catch alive back at ya. Good to have you here. Have you guys seen the Barbie movie? Brewski Beers? I wasn't going to talk about it. I saw it last week. My kids made me go see it with them, and I was like, God, no. It was really good, in my humble opinion. Anyway, I'm drinking my grapefruit sparkling water, but one of the funniest things from the movie, in my opinion, is the brewski beers. If I'm saying it right, is it beer brewskis or brewski beers? I think it's brewski beers. It's hilarious. I highly recommend it. It's a good laugh. And wear pink. It's a lot of pink. We weren't going to get political, right? I mean, that's one thing with true crime and with anything like, work related. You try not to get political, you try not to get religious, and it is very challenging, right? Sending love and light to all. J. Rana, thank you. So nice to have this wonderful group of five of us, if I'm counting right. So let me just blurt out a couple of things. I want to talk about both cases that I've been highly focused on since I started my channel, being Idaho 4 and Kylie Rodni. So I've been in a few lives since my last live. I've been on Ara's and Shan's Squirrels on Fire, and they talk pretty much all Kylie Rodni. Some whiz bang, shoot 'em up gaming stuff, which is actually really fun. I did that with Shan this morning and yesterday morning. She likes to, she's a gamer, so she's playing Call of Duty and talking a little bit of true crime at the same time. She's here. Hey, girlfriend. Yeah, I was gonna text you, but then I was like, oh, she'll get a notification. I was just talking about your Call of Duty and how fun it is as you're like blowing everything up and talking about Kylie Rodni. I love it. I could barely tear myself away to go to work today. So to get you guys caught up, I've been covering at the swimming pool a lot. So it's been keeping me way too busy on the weekends. And yesterday I got roped into working my regular job on a Saturday, which sucked because I was going to make sure I had this weekend off. And then my daughter roped me into lifeguarding with her today so she wouldn't have to do it alone. So we had fun, but I've just been really wanting to do my freaking YouTube. So thanks for being here with me, you guys. Pew pew, chitty chat, hell yeah. So funny. Let me see. My light just went out. I don't know if there's, oh, I think it might be dead or something. No, it might be trying to come back on. Let me see if it's just like a loose connection. It might not matter, but it might. I don't know. My goodness, it's always something, isn't it? So, yeah, there's just so much going on in the true crime community. And let me see what you guys are saying. Good evening, Mary Thomas. Hello, and Diane. Did I welcome everybody? Mods, please welcome people if I miss them. Sarah Sweetness, hey beautiful, good to see your face. Good to see your name and your comment. Squirrel says, once fee is settled for the night, Imma go live again to BS game for an hour. It's Kylie. Um, did I say Kaylee? I'm sorry. Justice for Kylie. I hardly ever do that because with those 2 names and those 2 cases, I'm so focused on Kylie Rodni and I'm so focused on Idaho 4, but it's virtually impossible to not mess up the Kaylee and the Kylie once in a while, so I apologize if I did. I'm prior military, Andalyn says, and defense and love your realistic approach about what really goes on in the real world. Let the light shine in. Welcome all. Don't forget to hit that like. Yeah, I did my creepy thumb. My big old creepy thumb. It's kind of like Incredible Hulk-ish. I like it because it's creepy looking. Um so yeah, I love covering Kylie Rodni and I love covering the Idaho 4 because these cases are such tangled webs of crap. It makes you want to give up. It really does. I mean, I have that thought every once in a while, but no, that's never going to happen. Never, ever, ever. Never say never, right? But honestly, I think people are just trying to fuck shit up on true crime in general. Like they're just trying to flip the table over and ruin everything for everyone. And that's never going to happen. It's kind of like when people thought that television was evil and they wanted it to go away because they just liked radio and, that kind of thing. Yeah, good luck with fighting against, social media or the YouTube platform. Um, it's here to stay, and that's a good thing because it supports people in their freedom of speech and creativity, and why would anyone wanna shut that down? It doesn't mean that people need to be ridiculous and have a free-for-all and just go hog wild and just, you know, explode everywhere about everything. Anally repulsive is a term that I used with Shan the other day for something. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean no boundaries and just be a whack job and be a jerk. Like, no, like be a grown up, be yourself. Like, how would you act in the real world? Like, do that online. Like, why do people want to hide behind their computers and be batshit crazy? Okay, let's get caught up with you guys. And Shan says the names in the cases have similarities. I see why people slip who cover both cases. I call my son Nova all the time and vice versa. So I get it. Oh, is Nova your dog? Be brave, share sweetness. Yes. What does it have on the other side? Work hard. I have another one that says like be humble and something else. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna put be brave back because that was the one I wanted to go with. Screw that working hard, right? Anyway, that what is it, Ray Dunn? It's like everywhere, all over the place. This says right on it. I have way too much of this stuff I need to get rid of, but it's kind of cute. Anyway, we're gonna be focused, right? Corruption, in my humble opinion, Andalyn, yeah, I mean, you see it for what it is. After 12 kids, you're lucky I remember your name. I'd tell mine. 12 kids? Wow, I have 4, and yeah, sometimes you just can't get the name right. Courage gets bigger the more you use it. I like that. Hey, Annie Ruler. Hola. Be the best version you always. No accountability. Sarah Sweetness, you nailed it with the buzzword. Police accountability. That's something that we're asking for in these cases, in both of these cases, the Idaho 4 and the Kylie Rodni, that we're not getting. And police need to be held accountable. They are held to a higher standard than the rest of us. They have to be because they carry badges, licenses to kill, and guns. And we all know that it just takes one bad apple to ruin the whole batch. So yeah, the accountability definitely for us YouTubers and, for us commenters as well. But big time for law enforcement. And oh, so one of the things that I wanted to jump right out with is with the Idaho 4 case. People, I feel like, are trying to pin this uh, slaughter on one person. That seems insane. It, not that it's not possible, it's just given the circumstances that this person wasn't familiar with the house, wasn't familiar with the people, wasn't familiar with the dog, that they did all that in 8 minutes. Yeah, right. Um, and then trying to set up motives like, oh, he's an incel and they're pretty girls, so he hates them all. Or things weren't going well with his teaching assistantship at his doctoral program, so he had to go kill everybody, right? Serial killers do not have precipitating factors. Did Ted Bundy ever have a precipitating factor? Gary Ridgway? No, they don't. They don't have precipitating factors. They just want to do it and they do it. Nothing pushes them over the edge. They're just waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the gumption, waiting for all the stars to align. So, for these people trying to pin it on Koberger and then trying to come up with these motives, if he's just a serial killer, which is what they're saying he is in that paradigm, he doesn't need a motive. Serial killers have the motive built in. That's just how they tick. That's what interests them. So it really feels like in both of these cases, and I think you guys will agree with me on this, it feels like they're throwing spaghetti against the wall and just trying to see what will stick. Will anything stick? Let's throw this, that, and the other thing. We'll throw all of it against the wall and see what sticks, right? Um, like in the Kylie Rodni case, maybe a precipitating factor if jealousy was going down and Kylie was hanging out with somebody's ex and stealing all the attention. That could have been a precipitating factor, but that's not really a precipitating event. Usually that is like getting fired or getting dumped. Who knows? Maybe one of these boys that was with Kylie and with Sammy, maybe they were going back and forth and cheating, and then somebody got their hopes up and then felt dumped. Who knows? Um, no moral compass. Scary to think that people who supposed to protect us are the ones we fear. Such a good point. And, most of them are awesome. I will give them that. Law enforcement is a tough job and they're out there fighting for everyone's safety, including the safety of the criminals, including them. So, more power to the good ones, and I appreciate people who do that type of work. Um, in my opinion, Brian was a cop undercover, and they turned on him because he was not down with their narrative. Sarah Sweetness, are you brand new to my channel? Do you have a new name, or have you been here and I'm just like spacing out? Because yeah, you're nailing it. You're like right on the same page as I am. Crime Watch, hey dude, what's happening? Um, Andolyn, do you think Beth? Oh, and hi, Blonde Gypsy and Diane. I didn't mean to skip you. And Jackie, hello. Um, let's see. Do you think Bethany and Brian were together on the night of the tragedy? That would explain her having exculpatory evidence. You know, anything's possible, but um, I don't necessarily think that's the exculpatory evidence. Um, honestly, don't know, but that's not like where my 8 ball is indicating to point towards. So, Bethany and Dylan, man, those two hold the keys. And for them to start their narrative with they were both asleep on the first floor, And then 6 weeks in, when, Brian was arrested, then, oh, no, one of them was asleep on the 1st floor, the other was asleep on the 2nd floor, and came face to face with Brian, and just thought he was a regular guy and wasn't scared. Oh, but wait, at the same time, she went into frozen shock phase and tried to text everybody to see if they were okay, or tried to call them. I'm not sure if anybody knows if it was a text or a call. Obviously, that's in the phone histories. But did she try to contact Bethany? That's been my question all along. Like, did she only try to contact the deceased ones because she knew they were deceased and she wanted to make it look like she was trying to reach out? Or did she also try to contact Bethany? Um, the big bushy eyebrows, it just doesn't make sense. Um, yeah, let me get some brewski beer. Hold on. Mm. So, the sheath, you guys, that freaking sheath with the little speck of DNA on the back. Another content creator made a really good video. Oh, was it True Crime Design, I think? Talking about how that speck of DNA would have been consumed. And I know Harsh Reality has talked about that prior. I've spoken about it after watching his video. um, that when you test DNA, when you test blood, you're consuming your sample in the testing process. So for them to say that they had this tiny itty bitty smidge and then they tested it and didn't get anything, so then they sent the itty bitty smidge that they already tested and consumed. No, that's not how it works. So they painted themselves into a corner by trying to say that. The other thing is that it's leather, it's porous. You can't get everything off of it. And for it to be all clean and wiped down is ludicrous in a bloodbath. But when you've got multiple DNAs in a mixture, it's really hard to tease them out. So that's why they wanted to pretend that they just had the one. I'm gonna just take a wild guess that the Moscow PD is not a bunch of DNA experts. So they didn't think all this through. They didn't consult with DNA experts. They didn't talk about, like, well, maybe we need to have a bigger sample so that we can have the leftover part to send to Texas. No, when they said it was that itty bitty that would like fit on the head of a pin or something like that, just like in like the back of the snap, just a single source, like, yeah, good try. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is. Maybe, it's ludicrous. It is ludicrous. Makes no sense. Been here all along. I'm just quiet, but love you so much. I have an unpopular opinion. This was not done by one man. Um, is it unpopular? Because, I honestly, going way back to the beginning, I thought it was just one man when I thought that it was probably Jack D. And he would know the house and he would know the people and he would know the dog. And yeah, when you do something like that, you don't want other people involved because they're loose cannons. You might have to off them too so they don't talk, right? Like, you're not going to leave a couple of people in the house to talk. Um, yeah, I don't think it was done by one stranger. That doesn't add up. And really, when you look at all crimes across the country, across time, it's rarely a stranger, you guys. Rarely, rarely, rarely. I want to say homicides, it's like 5%. I could be wrong. We could probably Google it. It's really low. It's not like assaults, the essays. It's not some stranger jumping out of a bush. Of course, that happens, but that's not how it usually happens. It's usually someone that's considered friend or family. Unfortunately, it's disgusting. And that's the same with homicides. Usually somebody who's friend or family, somebody who's trusted. That's how they get access. Um, so yeah, I don't argue that it's an unpopular opinion, but ever since they've been trying to pin it on one stranger, at first I thought, yeah, the dude looks crazy, and sure, they say they have his DNA, you know, but over time, that story needs to flesh out. And these stories are not fleshing out. Back to the Kylie Rodni case, that story did not flesh out. And then with Idaho 4, as more time passes and more information comes to surface, it's contraindicating other information. And you can't have it both ways. These people are speaking out of both sides of their mouths. Crime Watch says, I would have been out of there like a shot as soon as I could. They must have known what went down there. Oh, they might not have been there, is some people's opinion, and I think that that's a distinct possibility. But I guess I lean more towards that they were there and they were cozy with the criminals, that they were in on it, I guess is how I lean. To be quite honest, and you know how I like to be honest with you guys, can DNA be replanted from something else like a shower curtain, possibly? Right, because it's touch DNA, it absolutely can, 100%. But also, I guess DNA can be reproduced and like propagated if they have a tiny sample. It's my understanding that they can propagate more. I don't know that much about it. I'm not an expert. I would need to consult. I don't know much about this case, but I still think the remark Payne made about the lack of stairs was weird. Okay, Crime Watch, good point, but I don't think that was Payne. It was the other dude. So Payne is the corporal. He's the one who is the lead detective on the case, and he's got other cray stuff about him. But that was Sergeant Blaker, is that who his name is? That was with Payne, that they arrived together 4 hours after the call came in. So Blaker was on that call for a noise complaint that nobody called and complained about noise at 1122 King Road that day. What was that? Like, was that the September 16th one when they went over to Jack D's house, spoke with the guys in the driveway and up on the roof? Because apparently they did have a noise complaint call to that house. And then it's on their body cams. They're talking to each other like, hey, let's go over to the 1122 house because we feel like it. Oh, hey, let's trespass because we feel like it. They're talking about it as they're trespassing, and then they lie, bald-faced lie, and say, well, we knocked at the front door and nobody came. No, you did not knock at the front door. You talked to that weird guy with the backpack who was mumbling, and then you just walked right through the side yard, and that's not legal in our country for police to do that. So um the remark about the stairs is extremely weird for that Sergeant Blaker to make that remark. He's standing there in precisely where the attacker may have gained access to the house. He's in that exact same place and he's saying, oh, look, no access to the balcony. And then 2 months later, this happens in that exact same place. That's freaking fishy AF, in my humble opinion. That gets me really worked up. Drugs and law enforcement, Uncle Toolhouse. I'll just call you Uncle. Toulouse, right? We had this conversation before. Um, that's great to hear, Pam. Keep smiling. Oh, Pam, what was the good news? Was that let me see if I can get back there real quick. We like good news, don't we? Did I miss it? Where'd it go? How did I miss it? How come I'm not seeing it? Am I just blind? Um, anyway, let's not go back too much. That gets confusing. Oh, Pam is Muse News. I got it. I just figured that out today. Nice to see you, Muse News. Thank you so much for being here. Um, yeah, I just figured that out today on Shanda's live earlier when people were calling you Pam, and I was like, "Wait, what's going on? Who's Pam?" And then I put it together. So there we are again. And Tori, that is what Fry calls it, their story. What am I missing? Is that like a typo, the Tory? Um, but yeah, when Fry said we're trying to pull the story together, that was the verbiage he used. We're trying to pull the story together. No, you don't try to pull a story together. You try to put a story together. You try to fit the pieces of the puzzle together. That was a really weird brain leak, I think, to steal that from Armchair Detective. I love that phrase he came up with, the brain leak. And the 22,000 Hyundai Elantras to sift through 22,000 pieces of digital evidence. And he was in the old corner bar. Yep, that night. I believe it. I think that that was him. Um, at the corner club in that picture. People try to say that that's the owner, and it don't look like the owner. It does not look like Mark Triflepiece. There might be other owners too, but it looks exactly like Fry. Yes, Fry actually says the story. We're trying to pull the story together. I've been studying the bruises on Sammy more closely. They are comparable with her arm making contact with the steering wheel. I believe it, Crime Watch. Sorry, I don't know much about this. Whoever it was a strange comment. Crime Watch, you don't need to apologize. You are so on it. And sometimes like people that aren't studying the case have the fresh eyes and the best perspective, really, because they're not, you know, influenced by everyone else's rendition of it. Um, it was a very strange comment. It was very out of place. And there's a lot of stuff like that. You know, the other officer taking a photograph of not only her ID, but also took a picture of the back of the house when they're waiting for her. Like, really? Is that so you can study it? Seriously, you guys, it's so crazy. I don't think it was Blaker. Blaker's more macho guy. I might be wrong. Um, I think it's Sergeant Blaker that's in that scenario. I'm pretty sure. He's kind of macho, kind of heavy set. Um, do the steam tunnels run near the house, like possibly near the side that is in the ground? Has always been in the back of my mind. There's a secret entrance marble somewhere in one of the first floor. A secret entrance, maybe. I got marble out of that. Bubbly Waters just did a couple of videos, I think, on this very topic today, and I kind of caught some of one of them. And that's been a theory all along that that it was a stash house and there was a stash room and that there's a connection to tunnels. And tunnels are a way to move product in trafficking. Most cities have tunnels underneath and universities, and those are used for all types of things. I remember Tracy Chapman had that song, The City Underground, and then there's that cute cartoon Flushed Away. We know that homeless people sometimes live underground in these types of tunnels, but you know, there's a lot to that. So Um, I don't know if the steam tunnels run near the house, but the house is so close to campus. It's literally feet away and so close to the frat house. Um, I really think something's going on with all that Greek system stuff. I looked into the Kyle Fry guy. Have you checked him out? No, Kenny, I don't know who this Kyle Fry guy is, but I trust you. I will write that down. Um, I'm interested. Police can do whatever they want. He was assessing it for access, I reckon. He said that. He said, no access to the balcony. There's no access to the balcony. Wasn't that the word he used? Or did he say no stairs? Just chit-chatting, you snooze. Still, Blaker was freaked a bit about Rosendahl private property. Okay, Rosendahl was the other guy, the tall guy who took the photograph of Kylie's ID and of the back doors. You can come back on your next shift, said after Rosie took pic of inside of house speaker. Yeah, yeah, that is good catch, Annie Ruler. I remember him saying that. You can come back on your next shift. Um, yeah, very odd. And they pretended that they had a complaint. They pretended that there was a noise complaint, but there wasn't. And again, that's a violation of people's freedoms. Cops are not allowed to just show up like that. We have constitutional rights. I mean, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, cops are pretty much allowed to do whatever they want. It's their call. They're the ones that get to decide. And if they are not being supervised by somebody who's going to say, no, you can't do that, then um, and Blaker was a sergeant. I don't know about Rosendale. He seemed really young. He probably wasn't a sergeant. He was probably pretty new. And also, didn't it seem like Blaker was kind of training him, like the way they were speaking, that Rosendale was still in his training, maybe? I keep hearing Fry was out of town, like JS. How many left quick, knowing a shakedown was going to happen, left after 1:30 a.m.? Okay, so I think this was True Crime Design too. I'm not real familiar with that channel, who did like a 12-minute video, I think yesterday, of kind of an edited version of the Grub Truck surveillance cameras, and it's really creepy and spooky. And their theory is that everybody there knew what was going down. That Kaylee and Madison were the targets, and that everybody had eyes on them. And what was also super suspicious is them not really acknowledging or saying hello to any of the sorority girls that were there. Um, I'm wondering if Caden Young might have been there. Harsh, Enan Harsh. He was there apparently. I mean, the guy that's wearing like the poncho thing that some people thought was him actually looks like it is him. Um, let's see. Almost 3 a.m. here, so it's about sleepy time for me. So keep up the great work and hope to catch up soon. Night all. And Pam, keep smiling. It's good for the soul. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot to smile about, even in this craziness. So Upchurch has done a couple of videos today in response to the shitstorm over the weekend. Um, I haven't watched Plunder's video, but she's coming with the information that church has 21 days to respond to the complaint, um, which I'm just not convinced that that's an actual lawsuit. I mean, it looks like a rough draft if it is an actual lawsuit. It's very unprofessional. It's very much not like what you see in court documentation. Um, yeah, good night, Crime Watch with Kenny. Thanks for dropping by. It's always great to see you. Did they ever publicly identify the red-haired, bearded man found passed away there not too long ago? Which case are you talking about, Sarah Sweetness? Are you talking about the Idaho 4, or are you talking about the Kylie case? I'm not sure. Um, so yeah, I put up a lot of community posts over this weekend. None of us can be sued for expressing our opinion or speculating. If we are making crap up just to destroy people's reputations, that's slander. But if you have an opinion based on facts, that's not slander. That's called expressing yourself. And you're allowed to do that on YouTube or television or at a coffee shop or wherever. Um, yeah, people don't really understand the definition of slander, I don't think. And, up church, agree with him or not. I never agreed with him when he said that he didn't think Kylie was real. Personally, I thought that was awful. That's just my opinion. He had reason to believe what he was saying. He actually did believe it, I think, when he said it. He wasn't just saying it for fun, but it certainly helped propel the case, in my opinion. And I'm hoping that this lawsuit, if it actually is a lawsuit against him, will also help propel the case and get the truth out. Um, so Idaho, I don't know nothing about this red-haired bearded man found passed away near the 1122 King Road house or just near the campus. Kylie's name is spelled wrong in one spot of the papers. Yeah, that's bizarre. Good catch, Nico says. Yeah, that's truly bizarre. And for these people to come out, and I think with both of these cases, there's been a lot of people desperate to make videos, desperate to have new information, and I don't think there really is any new information in either case. There's new ideas, but if you can't come up with ideas of your own, what are you going to do for content? You know, I'm just I don't like the fact that I think a lot of content that I see on YouTube is just a waste of time, honestly. I don't like that. I don't like to waste my time. I don't like to waste anyone's time. So, if people are getting something out of it, then good, but I'm just going to scroll and roll. I'm not going to spend precious moments of my life on that stuff. Do you think the news would report this if it were a lawsuit? Um, I would think that that would be all over the news because they're always looking for content too. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. Did you come up with that all by your big old self, Pam? I love it. I mean, and when you're being gaslit, it's so easy to miss the completely obvious like that. Of course, it would be on the news. No, it's just going to be on the streets of YouTube because we're special here. I mean, come on. Was that the guy that threatened JLR last week? He got arrested over by 1122 King. I'm a little lost. So I haven't been following JLR, and so I'm not sure what you're referring to, Denise. I'll go ahead and highlight that in case anybody else wants to chime in on it. Um, if the lawsuit is real, I think it's another money grab by the family. Right, but it's not for that much money. I mean, if you were going to file a lawsuit like that against a millionaire, I would think it would be like $1 million lawsuit. It's for like 100,000, I think, or less. I'm suspicious of the lawsuit myself, but I think the incorrect spelling of Kylie was in quotation of a video spelling it wrong. Makes sense? Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so in the lawsuit, they're talking about a video where they spelt it wrong, and so they spell it wrong to match. Is that what you're saying, Rando? And hello? Yes, that's what Nico says. Okay, so if Enan Harsh was at the Grub Truck, and it looks like he was in this video that I mentioned a minute ago, True Crime Design. Why didn't he say that when he was talking to the media, when he was doing so many interviews? Why didn't he say, "Oh my goodness, I was there. I saw them right before it happened"? Unless it's a doppelganger, of course. Um, Correct. It's in quotations. Oh, okay, rando squirrel. I see. I hadn't looked at it that closely, so thank you for pointing that out. It's good to know those details. And Caleb Lee says, "Good evening, Lady Justice and Justice Warriors and Tsunami." I know it's Salagi, but I like to say Tsunami, and she said that's cool. Has a post up from SF saying that Kylie's case is being wrapped up soon. It's my opinion that Shan really shook up this case with her replaying of the 7 hours of the conversations with MC, and that MC is just gone batshit crazy trying to get all of her friends and family to push back. That's my opinion. That's how I see it. So for SF to all of a sudden be saying this, like right as Shan is kind of coming to the tail end of her airing that 7 hours of conversation, crazy. Timing is everything. Timing is some of the best evidence when you're doing an investigation. Um, I find it interesting that intentionally we are in a precarious position. These weird unalivings are a fine red herring, perhaps. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say with that. I find it interesting that internationally we're in a precarious position. These weird unalivings are a fine red herring, perhaps. Okay, I follow. So you're saying just to distract the public. Um, right. Like what kind of laws are being passed that nobody's noticing? That was Enan in the flesh, or Einan, however you say his name. And if you're talking to me, Denise, no, this was at least 2 months ago, and that's not hard. That's been debunked by Lana. Okay, I have no idea what you're referring to here. Hello, Coffin Dapper Sucks. That's a funny handle. Hello, my lovelies. Happy to be here with my friends tonight. Well, welcome. Reminds me of the fire cam footage. To be honest, this whole thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you say this whole thing, you're not just talking about that footage from the apartments down the street. You're saying like the whole thing. Like are you talking about like the Grub Truck video stuff too? Like the whole case? I'm not sure. But yeah, 100% the sound of freedom is coming for Truckee. Yikes. Makes my brain turn to mush, and I can hardly remember even after listening to it multiple times. It feels like it was done on purpose. What feels like it was done on purpose, Shan? Why did Einan cut hair super short after GT? Lana makes fun of people asking, but only time ever cut short in years of video growing out and all other videos since. Well, and you bring up a really good point, Annie Ruler. I think Shan had been bringing that up, or somebody in Shan's chat was bringing that up. I think it was you, Shan, with Nate Hamburglar, that he always had long hair, and then after the night of August 6th last year, his hair got short all of a sudden. Like wasn't it short already at all those press conferences or what fake searches? um and the usual players coming out, Zanime. Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe Zanime coming out yesterday, and I wouldn't have seen it because I don't watch that channel that she was on. The Lair. Uh, I was watching Ara's 5-minute video of it that has been taken down since. But yeah, the two of them like yakking it up and patting each other on the back and talking about how great they are and how they're the good guys, and they're out here for justice for Kylie. Like what? Like how are you out here for justice for Kylie? Not, not even. And trying to say that anybody that has any faith in Ryan Upchurch is just evil. Okay, sure, right. Yeah. Splitting, you guys. This is what personality disordered people do. This is what narcissists do. This is what borderline personalities do. They split the group. It doesn't matter if it's the family, if it's the office, if it's school, if it's a team. They create drama that splits the group, and you have to choose which side you're on. And I see that happening a lot in the true crime community right now, and it's bullshit. Like, we are all in our own side, so to speak. But those of us that are fighting for justice for these victims, we're all on that same side. So all of this tit for tat is just such a waste of time and energy. And it's what borderline and narcissistic people do is they try to create drama, be the center of the attention, and you either are with them or you're not with them. You're either for them or you're against them. You can't be for yourself or against anybody else because it's all about them. It's all about them. It's crazy. And yeah, that ugh. Um Simon says, "Hello, ahoy, Miss Pam, and that Chief Fry, and that evil smile laughing at the presser from day one. Dude is sus." Yeah, what's really creepy is to watch the very first presser, if that's the one you're talking about, Caleb Lee, and the reporters from the local news are asking really good and specific questions, and he's just stymied. That's when they ask about the surviving witnesses, and he said, "I never said they were witnesses. I just said they were there." And the one of the reporters, I don't know if it's the same one, asks, "So were they harmed? Were they being held hostage? Is this why they didn't call for 8 hours? Were they unable to call for 8 hours? Why were they unable to call for 8 hours?" No, they weren't harmed. No, they weren't held hostage. Would we have liked them to call sooner? Yeah, sure, but they didn't. So get on with it. I mean, it's just like, no, completely, completely insane. Like, no, that's not how things go. Yeah, we would have liked for them to have called sooner, but they called, so whatever. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Yes, Caleb Lee. Dude is sus AF. Um, intentional confusion. Intentional? International? It's coordinated. Yes, I agree. There's a lot of coordination going on. I mean, you think about the crimes and the damage that that does to the businesses in these communities, whether that's the skiing industry in Tahoe or the university in Moscow, they're going to do everything they can to protect their financial interests. And remember, we're post COVID, you guys. Many, many businesses closed during COVID, and many have been in a tailspin since. Some have done fine or better since COVID, but the mass majority, it's either over or close to over. So, in schools, universities across the globe were already in trouble with people doing things online and people not needing degrees so much, people just getting into their careers and into their lives without a formal college education. But, the whole brick and mortar thing, very expensive and very hard to keep up with. Um, two people who almost destroyed that case. Which two people that almost destroyed? Are you talking about the Kylie case? Are you talking about like SF and Zanime? Facts. Um, it's them. Oh, are you talking about that channel? Who I just like to call him the Gremlin. It's giving them what they want. Upchurch and Aldine need to collab on a song. I don't know who Aldine is. Um, let's see. Us versus them mentality. Totally agree. AZ. Do you guys love my AZ and my little this is brand new, this little Greek looking column thing? I couldn't believe I found that in a shop and I bought it like a month ago and I hadn't tried to incorporate it into my little scene yet. So that's brand new tonight. What else is brand new tonight? This cool thing that you can't really see. I'll get it in a better spot. Um, and things just keep moving. But yeah, it's mostly the same old stuff. This I used to have out once in a while, months ago, like 6 months ago. But yeah. Anyway, I still got my AZ. I got all kinds of cool stuff. I love setting up this stuff, but then, sometimes it gets knocked down and that's super annoying. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the decor, are we? But it's fun. I love it. I feel like it's kind of my like little Mr. Robinson's neighborhood, when he had like the little train that would go back to the king and the queen. Doesn't it remind you of that? Now you guys are going to think of that every time, right? I just blew it. Right. Catching up with you guys. Let's see. Shan, preparing to go meet my maker and deal with all these things. That's exculting. And thank you for helping Kylie, the victim's justice and truth. What, Caleb? Are you um at the end of your life expectancy? Preparing to go meet my maker and deal with all these things? Or is there a typo in there? Am I misreading it? Um, that's escalating. It's escalating. Um, I'm so sorry if that is what you're saying. Please clarify. I feel like X and red flag will be outed one day. Red flag, is that referring to MC? Yeah, X is just vile. And honestly, listening to that 5-minute video of Ara's, I was like ready to hurl. Like that guy, there's something so demented about him. He's just a real sick puppy. It's unbelievable. And, for somebody like that to be putting themselves out there on YouTube is very unfortunate. It's gross to me that people watch him, I mean, I'm sure Zanime watches him, but who else? Um, I wasn't directly asking you, but this was last week on a different channel that played JLR when JLR was in Moscow last week. I'm not a big fan of JLR, but the guy who assaulted him. Somebody assaulted him? Wow. Um, fits that description. Okay. Kylie must be vindicated and her legacy honored. Kylie's spirit is very strong. I think a lot of us feel it. And yeah, she is not going to be forgotten by many of us. And coming up on the 1 year anniversary, we're so close, you guys. It's just like a week away. My ADD loves your burger. Well, that's kind of a compliment, and at the same time, maybe not a compliment, but I don't care. That's a compliment to me because, yeah, who doesn't have ADD in this day and age, right? I'm just super excited to get my column thing in there and to put the AZ on it because that's kind of newish too, and to get the moon right perfectly. You know, there's trying to fit so much in, but then I like to take stuff out too because I don't want it to be too busy on your eyeballs. I would want it to be relaxing, tranquility, and there's just not even enough room for the ITY is just tranquil, right? That's all you can see, but that's good enough. Tranquil. We'll take it. Okay. Um, let's see. Pleased to meet you. Thank you, but it's terminal. It's spiritual. Caleb, is it like terminal cancer? Can I ask? So sorry. Wow. Um, yes, love the set. Caleb. Hey, Larissa. Um, let's see. My bad. Not terminal. Oh, good. Not terminal. Okay. Now I'm confused, but I'm glad to hear that. Um, need a train. Moose news. I love that. That's adorable. Yes, I'm gonna get a little train. I'll never stop talking about Kylie. Are you okay, Caleb? Yes, let me highlight. Are you okay, Caleb? Because yeah, I'm wanting to know what's going on there too. Baby Gap can't stand him. Um, and may God help you through all these evil things you're going through. Absolutely, girl. Love your background. It feels fall-ish. Well, that's the orange here. And one of my mods was thinking about trying to put a link where people could buy these things if they wanted them. Because they are really good for the air. Like had mentioned a while back, they are like ultraviolet, so it like kills germs. And actually, like if you've got like a cut and you put your here, I'll show you how it works. Hopefully, I won't knock anything over. If you have a cut and you do that, it'll help heal it. It'll help like take the bacteria out. So it's pretty amazing, and it has different settings, but it's I don't know what it is. It's an energy ball. But anyway, it'd be neat if my mod, I think it was you, Nico, right? That was thinking of doing that, putting a link up where it make it easy for people to buy them. And then Nico would get a small percentage if you use that link to purchase it. So let's see. And I wouldn't get anything from anybody using that link to purchase it because I would want that just to go to the person doing the work of putting it in there. So let's see, where are we at? Know ya all. What I meant was taking care of ourselves spiritually is important. Well, Caleb Lee, you got us all so concerned, and you are absolutely correct. Taking care of ourselves in every way, spiritually, physically, staying hydrated, getting our rest, getting good nutrition, having good social support, and part of that is, I think, what we're doing here in our YouTube community, our true crime community. Having a support network, you know, feeling isolated is very, very bad for your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. Um, I'm glad you like all the looking at all the stuff, squirrels. I love it. I just absolutely love it. Um, I find some of these things in the most random places. Like these three balls were like on clearance. They're what are the candles? And they were like Sundance, I think, some really expensive company, and they were like on clearance at like TJ Maxx or something. And they have little stripes on them that make them look kind of like planets. And so I just thought, oh, those are cool. And I bought them. I had no idea what I was going to do with them. And then when I got this little shabby chic thing that I think is supposed to like be like a pen holder or a utensil holder, and then I came up with that idea, and I just love that. My Gabby Petito pumpkin is missing. It literally like fell somewhere, and I'm not sure where. So I like my little Gabby Petito pumpkin too. Oh, you guys, there's this brand new channel. I'm so glad I said Gabby Petito Pumpkin. This brand new channel to me. She did a 20-minute video about that surveillance camera footage from Whole Foods of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie going into the grocery store and not buying anything. And I always wondered if they might have been shoplifting, and they were. Not they, she. She was shoplifting. There's some footage that didn't come out when that footage came out, but it looks like authentic footage of her like putting cheese in one of her bags. And it makes sense, when they got there and pulled up in the parking lot, Brian Laundrie like slams the door. He's really mad. He slams it. I thought he slammed it, but she was able to slow it down and show that yes, he slams it for sure. And then he goes to the back of the van. He gets a hat. So he's trying to get a hat so that the surveillance cameras can't see his face. And then when he's in there, he's kind of the lookout, and he's kind of telling her where to go. She's got the 3 bags. So if they got busted, she would have gone down. She would have gotten arrested. He would have been not arrested. So that's crazy. That was just a couple of days before, was it I wanna say it was just a couple of days before the end for her, that was, right before that incident in the, Tex-Mex restaurant. But man, I'll find the video and I'll put the link in the description here because it is wild watching that video. I was just like, "Oh my goodness." Okay, sorry, I'm got all sidetracked by that. Um Feels like she adds something every week, like decor moves it around like I Spy. Oh, I love that. Squirrels. So I'll tell you, it started because I literally had to like set up and tear down all the time because I didn't have like my own studio. Now I have like my own studio and I love it, but I'm still like tweaking it. So yeah, like I moved this lower. This is like the coolest, weirdest plant holder, but I don't have plants in it. I've got glass balls in it, and then I have lights below them so that you can kind of see them. I'll get more light in there because it is hard to see. But yeah, I just find all this crazy stuff, have fun with it, and then yeah, I'm trying to confuse you by moving it around and hiding it, and then I have it here but not here, and yeah, too much fun, huh? What else? Oh, where's the little this guy? You can't see him at all because he's all dark. Here, I'll shine a light on him. Let me grab a light right here. See that guy? The hedgehog. He is hiding. So yeah, I'll shine a light over here too so you can see these cool glass balls that I was talking about. So yeah, I know I need more light. That's the lighting is the toughest part. Anyway, I really literally thought making content would be the toughest part. The content kind of comes naturally. The lighting, not so naturally. Like natural light is your worst enemy. Absolutely your worst enemy when you're trying to make a video. Um, let's see, where are we at? Rando. I keep looking for the Easter egg. Okay, I'll get some Easter eggs in here. I used to have my adorable little goofy bunnies. But yeah, I try not to distract myself with all the cool stuff because I want to stay focused on the cases and just, it's just an opportunity. It's me and my art therapy stuff. That's what it is. Um, Justice Train. Yeah, I know we do need a Justice Train. That's so funny. Glad all is well, Caleb Lee. Yes, being in the dark is hard on the eyeballs of us with visual issues. Oh, I'm so sorry. And I wondered about the moving light too, if that might be hard on people with, sometimes with visual issues. So, but I am trying to bring up the lighting. It's just, it's so easy for it to flood and then you can't really see anything because everything is too light. So, but yeah, I agree. I want to have like more overhead, but that is kind of like natural light. It's your enemy. Um, so I will work on it, GC. I'm working on it. So next video, Hopefully, and hopefully I'll be getting into a routine where I can be doing them more as things settle down. Hopefully, with not working 7 days a week. I've worked 7 days a week for like an entire month. So, but again, I'm not complaining because I love what I do. So it's just that I love my YouTube more, but money, right? I mean, I don't make much with my lifeguarding. That's kind of more for fun and just kind of giving back to the community. But my regular day job keeps me very busy, and yeah, money's important. So, and then maybe the monetization of the YouTube will finally take. I mean, I've had my channel for like 10 months, and it's been since Christmas that they've been saying that it's good to go, and it has not been good to go. So it's been very mysterious. But I think one of my genius kids figured out the final dotting of the I and crossing of the T tonight. So we'll see. I submitted it for um, review. Um, let's see. What did I miss? Grammar and speech was muddled. Forgive me. Nico says that she will post the information so that you guys can buy these cool things if you want. Some people need to suck on a Tesla ball. Is this a Tesla ball? Is that what you're talking about? Um, yeah, it would help bad breath and that kind of thing. Great visual. Um, that's the guy. He sounds like I just is described. Hmm. That's amazing, AZ. My son would love that too. And I miss you guys so much. I really miss, I like to do my YouTube every day. Like I can hardly skip a day, and then I've been skipping so many days and it's just killing me. And going on other people's lives is kind of like the methadone for my addiction. But that's still not me making my own videos, and I really love this process. So thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, and I don't have my silly little cardboard thing. That's ugly anyway. Where did it go? Um, Share, subscribe, and comment, and hit your notification button if you like to be notified. Um, let's see, what is this? Been thinking about you. I hadn't seen you for a while. I'm driving, pulled over to type, so won't be able to answer. Yeah, definitely pull over to type. I know it can be so dangerous, us and our electronic gadgets. Got to be super careful. Spiritual warfare is real, Rando. I agree. Definitely. And then there's just like the YouTube warfare. Social support is so important. So much so, Pam. Thank you for saying that. It is super important. And, it's like if something is not working for you, just let it go and find what does work for you, right? Um, Jazz has balls. You funny rando. Cojones, I like to say. But yeah, I've got my globes, I've got my crystal balls. This one is like hand blown glass. It's actually like an ornament. Um, and then this one down here is like a thing with bubbles in it. That's also hand blown. This, you guys, talk about warfare. Can you see this? I don't think you can. I don't really have a spot for it. This is new. This is like a biblical thing. And I thought, yeah, for spiritual warfare. So I kind of got that behind me because it's a little intense. Now you can kind of see it since I showed it to you up close. Yeah, I forgot to point that one out. That is one of the cooler ones. And then I've got some little succulent plants back there. Anyway, on with the show. Where are we at? We are an hour and 8 minutes. So let's get caught up to you and then wrap up. Anyway, yeah, these crystal balls help me to see the future. Of course, I'm kidding. But, you know, we do have, each one of us has a lot of power to create the world that we want to live in, to create the vibe that we want to live in and that we want to share with others. I think it's really important. That footage was so sad. Gabby did shoplift cheese. Oh, you saw that, the one I'm talking about. I know. I suspected that when the footage came out because I'm like, why does she have so many bags and why aren't they buying anything? They're in a grocery store. They're on a road trip. You need food. Um, but they're just like looking around and it is Whole Foods and Whole Foods is extremely expensive. I mean, that place I used to call it Whole Paycheck when they opened one near where I lived out in Seattle. Um, very, very expensive. Sorry, my phone's dinging. And yeah, it's sad that she was stealing the cheese because it really seemed like her abuser was telling her what to do. And, I mean, they had money. They both had families with money too, but they had their own money. But yeah, I mean, you have to have a source coming in consistently because everything costs a lot of money, especially when you're traveling and you're buying all that gas and going out to eat. So yeah, it's weird that they went out to eat a lot and then they're shoplifting at the freaking grocery store. But who knows what the details are? It could be that they had a credit card that one of their parents paid for that they used when they went out to eat. Um, and, you know, it could be that they would get kind of gifts from their family where they'd be like, oh, well, you're traveling. Why don't you go out to eat? Use the card that I gave you and I'll pay for it, right? It's hard to say. Um, Brian was throwing a temper tantrum. I've seen it before. Yeah, he's horrible, isn't he? Absolutely horrible. Poor Gabby, such a sweet girl. It's just insane what he did to her. And then what he did to the family and what his family did to her family. And I'm so glad they're pursuing that in the court system. Um, it's just disgusting. It was triggering to watch, to be honest. Yeah, it was. It kind of brought it all back. I mean, that was such a wild case in real time when she was basically missing and everybody was hoping to find her and hoping for the best possible outcome. And then just the way that all unfolded in real time on YouTube, that was truly bizarre. Squirrels, I so appreciate your support. You and Kenny and everyone. AZ, it means so much. Well, you are awesome, Pam. You really are. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you. Thanks, all of you. We love you so much, Pam. I say a prayer of protection for you every night I lay down. I worry for you after hearing your story. Oh, I haven't heard the story. Can you point me to it? Watching, I am so tired. I lack the social skills to communicate. Hey, John, how's it going? Yeah, social skills are challenging. 100%. I think all of us kind of got set back with our social skills with COVID when we weren't allowed to be around other people for so long, right? Um, let's see. Villain, villainous cupcake. That's hilarious. I missed it. Skeet skeet rewind. Hello, chat. Aw, well, thanks for coming. Yeah, we're getting to the wrapping up part. It's so nice to be on a live with my peeps. Thank you guys so much for your support. Um, oh, Tsunami. Much love to you. Love you guys in chat. I'm here just hanging out. Awesome. I love keeping up with all these great content creators. I love when it's so challenging to keep up with them all because there's so much good stuff. And your new stuff that you've been coming out with is like stuff I'll be watching tonight, but I don't think I've seen most of your brand new stuff. Um, I'm gonna go out on a limb for this. Are you saying the spiritual warfare in these cases, true crime in YouTube, or just our current times in general? Good question, Nico. I mean, for me to answer that is like, I feel like that's talking about the YouTube. true crime community, but yeah, all could be true. All the above, Rando Squirrel says. Yeah. Sis Vicious, what up? Just saying hi and showing some love on your stream. Hope you've been well and avoiding the heat. Man, it hasn't been, I mean, it's been hot here, but not like all these other places. So I feel like I can't complain. And I just try to keep up with fans and air conditioning. Um, yeah, it's been hotter than hell. Um, on the radio the other day, I heard someone say that the global warming is over. It's done with. We're now at the global boiling. I was just like, damn, something's going on. China and Europe had 126, you guys. That's what it said on the news. Unbelievable. Truth Tsunami Squirrels on Fire live next. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna wrap up and then Shan can get on with her pew pew um her Call of Duty thing. Um yeah. Sish Vicious, I saw that Kelly with What's the Obsession was also doing a live simultaneously, so I don't know if you dropped into there too and can communicate. You can be our liaison. Another great video today, Tsunami, Simon says. Thank you, Simon says. Yeah. And for anybody who doesn't know, watch Crime Watch with Kenny's last video on the Kylie Rodni case. He just put it out a couple days ago. It really hits it out of the ballpark. It's creepy AF. I'll give you the spoiler alert. It's like the whole Horde of the Flies is what he called it. And he's got clips of Lord of the Flies movie in there. Horde of the Lies. He's so sharp. Looks like someone likes to shop, so she started a YouTube channel. Well, right. I started the YouTube channel to keep myself busy and not shopping, right? But no, I have a couple of stores that I just love that get the coolest shit in, and I just can't help it. It's like it's my habit, it's my thing, it's my addiction. It's fun. So yeah, like I don't clothes shop too much. I don't shop for other stuff. I've been a home decor junkie for probably 20 years. Ever since I've been a homeowner. So we bought our first house like 20 years ago, and then I started wanting all that cool stuff. Um, I'm loving all the stuff you've been dropping, girl. You are always getting it. So much respect to you. Yeah. I know. Truth Tsunami, it is hard for me to keep up with your brain. You're like going a mile a minute. I try my best, and anything I can capture, I'm appreciative of. But I think some of it just goes right by me. I take screenshots, I slow it down, but you got to rewatch them. There's just so much in there. I collect stuff like the doodads you have, and my daughter says they're dust collectors. She's a minimalist like you. I like my doodads. Well, see, in my heart, I'm a minimalist too. I try. So I try to eliminate things all the time. But then that opens up space for new stuff. So thank you, Shan. That means a lot coming from you, dear. Love your setup, Justice. I'll be modding for Kelly. You should come over after you end yours. It's open panel and you're always interesting to listen to. I would love that. I think Shan's doing a live afterwards too, but it's the Call of Duty thing. So maybe I'll try to do both. I got two devices with my laptop and my cell phone, um, and just be on chat. Let's see. Is Kelly doing more on the Watt stuff or what tonight, sis? I'm gonna guess she might be doing the Idaho, but she might be addressing the of church noise. Don't judge by the way they updated the flower emoji. Looks like a pentagram in the darker pink, but don't stop using it because I pointed that out. We never leave Watts Island over there, LOL, but tonight is an Idaho chat if you're interested. She'll always answer questions, though, if there's something you want to talk about. Yeah, man, that Watts Island. Phew, when is justice going to be complete with other players that were involved in the demise of that beautiful family? Shanann, Cece, Nico, Bella. It's just the most disgusting story in the world. It's so awful. And that anniversary is August 13th, isn't it? That's also coming up. Or is it August 18th? I think. It's been a while since I've been on Watts Island. Because let's see, it was 6 years ago, I think, or 5 or 6 years ago. And her and the kids had been away for 6 weeks, 6 entire weeks in North Carolina visiting family, and he was screwing around with his boy toy. And then he finally went to visit also because his parents were there also, and it was just a whole bunch of crazy. And then it was like 3 days after they got back from that trip that it happened. But she had only spent like one night at home, I think, and then she went on her little business trip to Arizona. Um, so yeah, the dates are fuzzy, sis, but you can tell me what the anniversary date is. I'm pretty sure it's August 13th or 18th, but I'd have to look. But man, what a freaking evil, evil, dark cluster that was and is, and the poor family. And then, my friend Armchair Detective, I think that man does really good work and he gets so much pushback, and especially from Shanann's brother and her family. And I just think that's misplaced hostility. I mean, their hostility should be towards the police that didn't do a good job with getting justice for their family, and should be with Chris for what he did, and with his, what should I call her? His boy toy for her part in it, because it's so obvious that she had a part in it, in my humble opinion. So obvious. Give me a freaking break. Um, let's see. Hey, all right, girl. I'm so glad you came by to say hi. I'm just wrapping it up, honey pot. It is an hour and 22 minutes, which isn't very long for a live, but it's long for my lives. I think the longest live I've ever done was like 2 hours. I was thinking I should break that record soon. Don't you think so? Um, so let's see. I always get here at the end. Hey, Sandra, thanks for coming. It can be challenging. Today was the first day I didn't run AC all day in like 3 weeks. Oh yeah, I live by the AC and the fans also. We're gonna fry like bacon soon. I feel like a melted crown. Global boiling is my new benchmark. Ugh, yeah, it's insane, isn't it? Um, if Kelly is gonna go live, I won't. Oh, she's already live right now, Shan. So I'm interfering with her audience. I mean, I'm sure she's fine with it, right? I don't want to take from her channel. Well, but you got to do what you got to do, like you got to create. If you're going to create, you can always catch her on the replay or vice versa. I mean, I saw she was going live as I was going live, and I was like, "Don't." But I had to get on here. It's been just too long. I did a live recently, but not recent enough, and I just haven't been doing my daily stuff the way I like to do. It's like my therapy, man. I need it. Constantly been 110 with no clouds and around 45% humidity. Oh my goodness. If you were already planning to go live, I don't see the issue, Shan. Sitting here listening to Squirrels on Fire live from today, so does that count as multitasking? Absolutely. Um, Great chat with my free thinkers, Andalyn. And Sis says, "Hey, Ara, I hope you've been well. I know it's hot where you are." Oh, yeah. Ara's in freaking Texas, man. Definitely like frying eggs in the road down there, huh? See ya all, Miss Kelly Watts. The obsession. Take care and bless you all. Yep. See ya over there. Stay well. Shan, she's been live. I think she might be wrapping up too, maybe another hour max. Um, well, yeah, I don't know if her school has started back up. She might still be on summer schedule. Um, I would watch you instead, Nico says. Okay, I'll game and BS. Yeah, Nico says I'll wait until 11 so Kelly gets her time in. Shan, what is Chucky Charlie's last name while it's in my head? Holderman, right? And I don't want to be like doxing anybody. The thing with Charlie Holderman is that people from the true crime community, like with Shan's channel, we've been concerned about him and his well-being. Um, and apparently, I've gone on Facebook and found his uh, posts and posts about him. Apparently, he was in a car accident and then he was at the UC Davis Hospital. And I think that he's trans and he's deaf and he's a cancer survivor. So, a lot going on there. But what's really weird is that there's a Charlie that keeps coming up in the Idaho 4 case, you guys. It's really weird. Like, and I don't know if that other Charlie is male or female or trans. The other Charlie spells it Ley, I think, and they look female, but I don't know. It's bizarre. Um, I, and Bubbly Waters has done again. That's one I'll put in the link. So I'll put the Bubbly Waters one in the links and the one about the Gabby Petito shoplifting. And we are wrapping it, kids. Still can't find an update on him, but I also haven't checked at all this weekend. So yeah, I just found him on social media yesterday, I think. Um, I'm genuinely concerned for him. Well, of course we are because it's a hot mess over there in Truckee, and all kinds of crazy stuff is going on. Weirdness galore, Rando says. Well, on that, people, let's say peace out. Have a very good night. See you on the next one, and maybe see you on Squirrels on Fires live or What's the Obsession live. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to hit your like button on the way out if you haven't already. And share, subscribe, ring your notification bell. Commenting is always nice. Sis says, please, everyone, hit the like. All opinions, all people are welcome here. Hush. Remember to show your host some love and be respectful to one another. Love you all. See you over there. Just, yeah. So, show, and our host some here, hush. Here, just remember. Okay, I got it. I'm plugging it all in. Okay, let's see. Um, so yeah, Charlie Holderman, I hope that they're okay. I hope that they're safe. I hope that they're not in any danger. I hope that they've been recovering from the car accident, alleged car accident. Let's see. Blessings to everyone. Peace out. I like the hush part, LOL. Yeah, me too. So, thanks again, you guys. I just love having you here. I love being here, and hopefully, you'll be seeing more of me as, like I said, things are hopefully calming down with so many uh, children and summer. And, I like my routine and I like my YouTube to be part of my routine. Sorry, I have fat fingers and don't proofread. It's rough. I know. I know. So I'm going to hit the end of stream. I'm going to say peace out, sending you light, sending you love. Thanks, everyone. And just love seeing you. Thanks so much. See you soon.